Hi, I'm here with Dr. David Jockers. Welcome, David.
Hey, so great to be on with you, Jim.
Okay, let me tell you a little bit about Dr. Jockers and why, if you're interested in the health of your gut, in digestive health, you should pay attention to what Dr. Jockers says. And I've got my notes here because he's a very accomplished man. Dr. Jockers is a natural health doctor, a corrective care chiropractor, an exercise physiologist. He owns Exodus Health Center in Kennesaw, Georgia, and he's the best-selling author of Supercharge Your Brain. He has 6 very interesting online healing programs, especially, let me get the name right, Digestive Health Restoration Program.
That's right.
Thank you, Dr. Jockers. First question, why do you care about the digestive health of your patients and people in the world in general?
Yeah, that's a great question, Jim. So we know when we look at the digestive system, it's like, I mean, it's really the most important system when it comes to health. They call it the second brain. And we look at what happens in our digestive system. I mean, that's really where we get all the nutrients. It's also where the immune system hangs out. Really, like roughly 75 to 80% of the immune system is in the gut. It has to do with how the different microbes in our gut are interacting. And so it's so critical to overall health. In fact, most chronic disease in our society is related to chronic inflammation, and that's coming from the gut. So we've got to take good care of our digestive system in order to be healthy. And in our society today, our digestive system is under assault. We've got things like chlorinated water, genetically modified foods, we've got hybridized foods, all different types of things that are damaging our digestive system. The whole fast food idea is one of the most detrimental things to our digestive system. And I'm not just talking about the quality of the food. I'm talking about the idea of eating fast or eating on the go is one of the worst things we can do for digestive health. So, you know, in a sense, every single client that comes into me or everybody that I'm consulting with, I'm always thinking digestive health and really getting their gut healthy as quickly as possible. And it makes a world of difference when it comes to somebody's health.
Wow, I couldn't agree more. Just as I listened to that list of things, one other thing came to my mind, and that is, what about food additives and our modern food processing system? Do you think that's an issue too?
That's a huge issue. And so food additives, all the different chemicals, they're in our gut. And so we eat them, they get into our digestive system, and they're going to cause more inflammation. They're also going to cause imbalances in our gut microflora. We've got antibiotics in our meat. Like, Jim, I grew up and my family was holistic in the sense that we didn't go and get medications. I was never on an antibiotic medication, but I consumed tons of antibiotics because I was eating meat, and my parents said no, but the meat had antibiotics in it. And we didn't even really know about this until maybe the late 90s, early 2000s, and that's when the reports started coming out. So most people have been eating this for years. You know, most people in society today don't even think about it. They just think, I'm going to go get a chicken breast. They don't realize that chicken breast may have hormones in it, may have antibiotics in it. And so they're literally eating a gut bomb, literally destroying their good gut microflora and creating genetic shifts in the way that their body produces, or their body works the immune system. Creating different variations of microflora, elevations of pathogenic yeast and bacteria, opening an environment for parasites to form, and just a myriad of different problems. So,
yeah, that was what I thought, but it's good to hear from a true expert. Could you tell us about a sort of a typical patient you see who had digestive issues and how you helped them and how their life changed?
Yeah, so let's see, I'll bring up a guy named Mike. Now, this isn't necessarily typical, but he had severe ulcerative colitis. And I work to help people get their digestive health well, regardless of if they have a debilitating digestive disorder or not. But this guy, Mike, he ulcerative colitis to where he literally, I mean, he was skin and bones, okay? Hadn't been able to work in 10 years, hadn't been able to go to school. And every time, you know, basically he had blood coming out of his stool. And we put him on my digestive health restoration program, and we had him starting out with this reset phase, doing a fast. All he was drinking was broth, herbal teas, taking a few key supplements, and literally, I mean, and I had him doing an extended reset phase. And literally in 30 days, you know, we had been able to keep that under control. Then we started adding foods in, and we went into what we call our rebuilding phase. So we used what's called a low FODMAP nutrition plan, where we didn't have a whole lot of these fermentable carbohydrates. And so a lot of healthy foods are very healthy, but if somebody's gut is in disarray, then they can actually cause more inflammation. So we took these things out. We had them on a very special program, low FODMAP plan, and we call it our rebuilding phase. We also use different supplements like L-glutamine and different things like that, zinc, to help support the gut as it healed. And then we put them on a reinoculation plan where we started to add in probiotics, fermented foods, and a little bit more prebiotics, and reintroducing some of these healthier foods that had fermentable fibers in them. And so we slowly reintroduced those. And then we started to reintroduce some other things like eggs and things like that a lot of people have food sensitivities to. And he started responding really, really well. And literally in 4 months, he had gained weight. He had gained, I think he had dropped down at one point to 120 pounds, and he's 6'1". So think about that.
Wow.
And started our program. It was 6 months after he started our program. He was up to 170 pounds, muscle. Just muscle, had his life back, his health back, his energy back, his brain back. You know, now he's been able to go to school, been able to go back to work. He's got a full-time job and a career now. He's got his life and his health back. And, you know, that's our hope and our prayer for everybody that we work with. And Mike just happens to be one of the most extreme cases that we had to deal with. And he had literally been trying every single nutrition plan. In fact, in his testimonial, he talks about how he tried paleo diet, tried, zone diet, the low carbohydrate, or what is it called? The specific carbohydrate diet, all these different nutrition plans. And many of them are great nutrition plans. He tried all these things, but it wasn't until really we got his gut fully reset and then started to rebuild and reinoculate it that he got well.
Wow, that's a great story. I did want to finish up with a couple of things, but just something occurred to me. If anybody wants to talk to you specifically, if you could help them, or if your Restoring Digestive Health program is right, you do Skype consultations, is that correct?
Yeah, I work with people long distance. So I do Skype consults. I also have a nutritionist that does that. So yes, we do work with people long distance.
Oh, good. And because that's what I'm sure some viewers will be interested in at least pursuing this. Thank you. Now tell us about your Restoring Digestive Health program, please, because that's something that I think a lot of people really need to know about.
Yeah, absolutely. So we really have 2 big programs that we work with people with gut issues. We have our digestive health restoration, and we've also got our autoimmune elimination program. And the difference really is that the digestive health restoration program, we start and we do a 4-phase protocol. And the first phase is our reset phase, where it's a liquid diet. And typically we're only doing it for 3 days, unless the person feels really good. Like in Mike's case, he felt after 3 days the best he had felt in a long time. So we just kept him on it. Some people need that. But for most people, we're able to do a 3-day reset phase, doing basically a broth fast along with herbal teas, lemon water, apple cider vinegar water, things like that. Taking a few key supplements. Then we move right into what we call the rebuilding phase. In the rebuilding phase, we're doing this low FODMAP nutrition plan. And we usually do that for about 2 weeks. And then we go into the reinoculation phase, where we start to very slowly add in very small amounts fermented foods as well as higher FODMAP foods. And so we want to be very intentional. And also we keep a food journal, food diary really throughout the whole protocol. So that way the person knows how they're responding to different things, knows if they need to jump back into the rebuilding phase, not ready for the reinoculation, whatever it is, right? So that way we're able to get the feedback that we need. And we have specific supplements for each phase. And then eventually we get into what we call the probiotic lifestyle, which is really, once our gut is healthy, we want to be consuming foods that are going to support gut health for the rest of our lives. So that's when we talk about consuming a wide array of fermented foods, so we get really good biodiversity in our gut, eating foods that are rich in fiber and the right types of fibers, as well as just really a healthy, nutrient-dense diet. So it's really a 4-phase system: resetting, rebuilding, re-inoculating, and then we go ahead and do the probiotic lifestyle. The autoimmune elimination, we kind of, in a sense, go right into the re-inoculation phase. So that's for somebody that has an autoimmune disease but not severe gut issues. We'll skip through the first 2 phases and go right into the re-inoculation, where we do an elimination diet. We take out all the most common food sensitivities, and then we slowly start to reintroduce those back and see how the individual responds. So depending on the major symptoms of the person, we figure out the right program for them, and we have it all via online with a Facebook group to ask and answer questions. We have got tons of videos, a whole video library with each program, as well as a number of different e-guides, quick start guides, PDFs to show a wide variety of things to help that individual be successful with the program.
Wow, that's really complete. Thank you so much, sir, Dr. Jockers, for our conversation. I'm going to link to all your programs, your website, and everything down below. Thank you, Dr. Jockers.
Great. Thank you so much, Jim, for having me on. And I just want to encourage you. You're doing a great work getting this information out. So keep it up. You're making a real difference.
Thank you.